Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Camp Dolphins All Access, along with Kim Bokamper. I'm Steve Goldstein here in the heat of Miami Dolphins training camp. First off, Bo, a quick practice for Mike McDaniel's team today. The Philadelphia Eagles in town the next 2 days for those joint practices. What do you want to see in those?
Well, it's going to get a little hotter over the next 2 days, and I mean on the field, if not in the weather category. But I think this is the last opportunity to really see the starters play against another team's starters in a defined practice where you can get matchups you want. And I think it's certainly the most important two practices that they'll have before they start the regular season, because I don't expect to see really any starters play the game. I think you're going to see, the backups play from start to finish. Maybe some of the starters get a series, but not much more. So I think these two practices against Philadelphia are really going to define who's going to make this roster.
Speaking of the roster, it is now at 80 a week from today. They'll get down to the 53. Then you can re-sign players to the practice squad. So a lot of competition on this team. Let's start at the running back position. What have you seen? What did you see today, and how do you think it shakes out?
Well, I think they've got a stable of guys out there. I think Chase Edmonds is the guy that they want to be the go-to guy. I think you can kind of see that. And then after that, it's a bunch of guys that are just they each do some. I look at Myles Gaskin and what he's meant to this team over the last couple of years. I don't know if he's got a chance to make this roster. Savon Ahmed, same thing. Good player, has done a lot for this football team. Can he crack that roster? It's a pretty crowded room in that running back spot. So we'll see who comes out on top. But that certainly is going to be a heavy competition through these two practices, as well as that last preseason game.
And should mention Alec Ingold, full go now. He's the fullback, big part of this offense. He will play. We do know this. He will play in the game on Saturday night. His first action as a Dolphin. Hasn't played an NFL game since last November for the Raiders when he got injured. Wide receiver. Bo, it was fun on Saturday night to watch not only Braylon Sanders, but even more so Erik Ezukanma do what he does. They've got the three veterans. We know we're 1, 2, 3. They got a lot of guys at that wide receiver position.
But Ezukanma, I mean, we've seen him all training camp. That wasn't a one-off thing for him. We see it every day out here with him. He makes plays. He catches the football. I watch him out here. He's still out on the football field right now, Goldie, working with players, figuring out how to run routes, do things. So I think he certainly has positioned himself to be that number 4, number 5 guy in that wide receiver room. I think he's made this football team, but, unless disaster fails him in this last week, but a good job by him, and all that's going to do is make those wide receivers much better. Look, I'd like to see Mike Gesicki spend a little time in that wide receiver room, maybe put him in the slot where he's really effective, but we'll see how Mike McDaniel's going to use him. How
much of a factor do you think, and obviously Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Cedric Wilson, they're proven guys in this league. How much of a factor has Wes Welker been in not only helping those guys, but help these younger guys get up to speed?
You know what Wes is? Wes is a professional. Wes is a detail-oriented guy. I was talking to you a little bit earlier. I'm watching Wes playing catch with Tyreek Hill. Tyreek's catching the ball. Wes is catching it and tucking it under like he's playing a game this Saturday. So he's got all those things in him. And I think those are the small details that he can help a guy be an average player, come to a good player, and a good player become to a special player.
All right, Bo, always special with you.
All right.
Enjoy it. Kim Bokamper, I'm Steve Goldstein. This has been Camp Dolphins All Access. We'll be back with more tomorrow after that first joint practice right here on this field, the Dolphins and the Philadelphia Eagles.